Hi, I'm Tyler.
I'm Lucas.
I'm Jelani.
And we are focusing on reducing same-day missed appointments at Radiology Associates.
To start off, this is an overview of our video. First, we will have an introduction, then we'll give you our problem statements, background and objectives, literature review design, which is going to include the process data and root cause analysis, and then finally proposed solutions and future steps. Here are some information about the company we've been working with. Radiology Associates of San Luis Obispo is a medical imaging facility that's been serving the Central Coast since 1959. They have 3 imaging centers, which are located in Templeton, Pismo Beach, and Santa Maria. As a company, they aim to uphold the values of true leadership, teamwork, innovation, and quality care. Here is some further background on our project as a whole. We plan to primarily focus on the center located in Santa Maria. We would only be focusing on same-day missed appointments, which is when a patient fails to reschedule an appointment prior to appointment time. Radiology Associates RDC in Templeton currently has a no-show rate of 8%. And lastly, patients can choose to schedule appointments either by calling the office, choosing a time online for the office to call them back, coming into the office, or having a referring physician schedule an appointment for them. Our policy statement is as follows. Radiology Associates DMI of Santa Maria currently has a 13.48 no-show rate. They lose approximately $240 for every same-day missed appointment. So our objective is to reduce the same-day missed appointment rate to 8%. Next is our deliverables, or specific things that we want to accomplish by the end of our project. We wanted to map out an entire appointment scheduling process using flowcharts, do a statistical analysis on missed appointments to discover any trends or potential causes, come up with a list of feasible ideas to decrease the no-show rate based on our findings and pass them along to Radiology Associates. Then finally provide any further or additional steps that Radiology Associates can take to reduce the no-show rate. Then there are our boundary conditions, which are conditions we have to follow within our project, and they include following the STAR clause, and then also the ideas that we implement cannot spend more money than they make. For example, our ideas must provide a return on investment. In other words, the ideas have to gain some sort of profit. And then finally, we only focus on same-day missed appointments and not the appointments that are rescheduled. And here is our literature review. We researched peer review articles on topics shown in the slide. We found information on STAR clause and how not to break them when implementing our new ideas. We looked at articles that pertaining to profiling patients. This gave us a sense of how to identify patients on how it had a tendency on the no-show rate. We found studies also that done different cancellation policies and double booking processes. This helped us understand the possible design alternatives to reducing the no-show rate. So it gave us different reference points in terms of how other teams have done the same thing.
All of the data we use to analyze no-shows is taken from January to September of 2017. For our project, we specifically focus on these 5 types of tests. Next, we'll talk about a workstream example. When analyzing same-day missed appointments, we decided to start at the very beginning of it all, how appointments are made. We created flowcharts for all 5 appointments to define the process of how Radiology Associates makes appointments for these tests. Here we have the current process of making a mammogram appointment. We also made a fishbone diagram to identify potential root causes of same-day missed appointments and narrowed it down to 4 main areas to focus on. Radiology Associates operates Monday through Friday for 11.5 hours per day. They have an internal goal of scheduling 114 appointments per day for these 5 tests alone, and average 127 scheduled appointments. As you can see, they have 17 missed appointments per day. That means on a normal business day, they have roughly 1.5 missed appointments every hour. A total of 191 data points were used to find the average number of missed appointments per day. There are 2 outliers in this data set, one on Tuesday, May 23rd, and one on Monday, June 26th. There were 35 and 41 missed appointments on those days alone. We looked to see if those days fell on holiday weekends, but they do not, so we don't necessarily know why the no-show rate is so high. Next, we'll talk about our findings with the data that we analyzed. We categorized no-shows by month, and as you can see, January and February had the least amount of no-shows, while May had the highest. All of the other months had a similar mean number of missed appointments. Moving on, we also found that Radiology Associates averages 362 no-shows in any given month. Categorizing no-show by test, we found that ultrasounds, mammograms, and MRI tests account for almost all of their no-shows. MRI tests actually bring in the most revenue for radiology associates, so it was really important to them that we focus our efforts on bringing down the amount of no-shows in that area. We did a one-way ANOVA to see if there was a significant difference between the number of no-shows and the months. We generated a p-value of 0.027, which is less than 0.05, thus showing a significant difference between at least one of the months, which was in fact between January and May. We also did a one-way ANOVA and found there was no significant difference between the amount of appointments missed on each day of the week.
We will now move on to our root cause analysis. Radiology Associates calls every patient that misses their appointment. The data used to analyze patient reasons for no showing was taken from January 2016 to October 2017. The top left chart shows that Radiology Associates was not able to reach patients an astounding 58.5% of the time. Some assumptions for this could be that patients who missed their appointment did not want to talk to them further. The bottom right chart shows the documented reasons for patients that Radiology Associates was able to talk to. Patients forgetting their appointment or thinking it was a different date or time accounted for 48.8% of no-shows. Some of the miscellaneous noted reasons given to Radiology Associates was that the patient arrived after table time, which is more than 15 minutes late, they were not able to afford their copay, or did not want to reschedule because of the amount due, or the patient was lost. Overall, we can see many patient reasons for no-shows were simply due to human error. We also looked at the trend of missed appointments by how many days in advance the appointment was booked and found the highest no-show rate was when a patient booked their appointment a week in advance. Now I will move on to our solutions we gave to Radiology Associates based on our findings. Our first solution is to actively inform all patients about the free ride service for all patients provided by a third party. Our second solution was to have an alternative signage at the Santa Maria location. This is due to their close proximity to another major medical center. When we first visited, we actually drove into the wrong lot. We want to have a customized appointment reminder calls that cater to a specific patient's need. Additionally, we wanted to improve the website to make it more user-friendly. We thought that offering snacks to patients that had to fast before their appointment could be a positive incentive for them to come to their appointment. The next two solutions are related to each other. First, we have a likelihood scale where patients who are extremely busy and prone to missing their appointments can let their schedulers know. This knowledge would then allow our second solution to work. With the knowledge of a patient not always making their appointment, a scheduler can let another patient know that their desired appointment time may be possible as the patient may not make it. Finally, we wanted to document missed appointment time so we could see what time of day there are the most missed appointments. Here is our solution matrix of the solutions we further developed and created a standard work for. The solutions we chose were all solutions we felt could have very real results. We wanted to offer rides to every patient that made an appointment at Radiology Associates to see if it would have any impact on reducing the amount of no-shows. The next two solutions we researched, however, were not plausible with our given time. Santa Maria does not allow any form of inflatable dancers. We also did not have the ability to reprogram customized reminder calls without causing more work for schedulers. We created standard work for these three solutions, offering snacks, a likelihood scale, and on-call patients, as we thought they would have result in reducing the amount of no-shows. I will now discuss some future steps for our project. We want to be able to work with Radiology Associates to customize our solutions to their likings. We want to have a survey for patients to ask them how we could improve their appointment reminder system after they finish their appointment. We want a simple yet effective cell phone verification process while making an appointment. If we could find a way to improve the email response rate, we may be able to gather more data. We want to create a way to incentivize patients to confirm their appointment. Finally, we want to emphasize the importance of receiving correct cell phone numbers. Thank you so much for listening.